Hi, my name is Joseph Becker. I'm the CEO of 1040 Plus Quality Tax Preparation and Financial Service Company. We're a bookkeeping, payroll, and income tax preparation company. I'd like to introduce you myself, my background, and our company, but before that I do that, I'd like to tell you a little story. When I was 4 years old, I went to my father and I said, "Daddy, I'd like to have a red wagon." And my father said to me, "Son, get a job." I said, "Dad, I'm only 4 years old. How can I get a job?" He said, "Son, you can do anything you want if you only try." So I grew up in Chicago, and back then on the weekends you could deliver newspapers, and I got a job delivering newspapers on the weekends, and eventually I bought my little red wagon. When I was 10 years old, I went to my father and I said, "Dad, I'd like to have a 10-speed mountain bike." He said, "Son, get a job." I said, "Dad, I have a job. I deliver newspapers and I make about $3 a week." He said, "Son, go get another job." So I got a job caddying at Homewood Flossmoor Country Club, and I made enough money eventually to buy my 10-speed mountain bike. When I was 16, I went to my father and I said, "Dad, can I use your car?" He said, "Son, go get a job." I said, "For crying out loud, Dad, I've got a job all my life." He said, "Go get a job. You can do anything you want if you only try." So I did. I got a job working at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and eventually I bought a 1964 Corvair. When I was 18, I went to my dad and I said, "Dad, I want to be an accountant." He said, "Son, that's really hard." I said, "Dad, you taught me I can do anything I want if I only try." My father was a CPA and a tax attorney, and I wanted to follow in his steps, and actually that's what I did. So the reason why I'm telling you this story is that I believe, and everybody should believe, that you can do anything you want if you only try, and I've built my experience and my reputation on trying hard. I went to school at the University of North Florida, and I worked on my BBA in accounting. While I was doing that, my father worked at the IRS as a tax attorney, and I volunteered and I worked at the IRS. And then eventually, when he opened up his own practice, when he retired, I continued to work for him as a tax accountant and bookkeeper in his business. When I graduated the University of North Florida, I went to work in public accounting. While I was working in public accounting, I worked on my master's in tax and my master's in accounting. When I finished I spent 5 years in public accounting, and when I finished working in public accounting, I went into industry and I worked on my MBA in finance. All along while I was doing that, well, at least since 1977, I was doing bookkeeping and taxes on the side. In 1993, I decided that I made more money doing bookkeeping and taxes than I did working for other people. So I started my own business, Becker Accounting and Tax. Over the years, here in Houston, we grew to 27 different offices. And we also came to find that you don't need 27 different offices to work for the world. With today's modern technology and the internet and YouTube, you can perform services for the entire world from one office. And that's where we work in our office here in Houston, Texas at 5625 FM 1960. We're going to use every technological means that we can to help our clients. Google Hangouts, Skype, YouTube, whatever they develop, we'll work that into our system so that you can stay in the comfort of your home, stay in the comfort of your office, and attend webinars and classes and learn tax saving strategies. If you have any problems or questions, please don't hesitate to call me at 281-397-7777. Thank you and have a great day.